So the weather's only just gotten better. I mean, I just touched down in Hong Kong at 8 o'clock or 7:30 this morning after a flight from Perth from midnight. And something I noticed immediately was it's so humid here. Like, I'm only wearing a t-shirt and I still feel hot and drenched, and it's raining at the same time. So I went to 7-Eleven and I got myself, well, there's a nice car. I went to 7-Eleven and I got myself an umbrella, and then I just started walking around taking photos and videos and stuff like that. So Hong Kong, by the way, is awesome. It's just very scenic, as you can imagine. It's just like the movies, honestly, if not better. I imagine it to be like a Japan, but a more Chinese version of Japan with a hint of Singapore. And where else have I been? Maybe a little bit of Kuala Lumpur, all mixed into one. Chinese writing everywhere. There's a bit of neon signs, old neon signs. Not as many as there used to be, but it's still pretty impressive to see them out. Another thing I've noticed is that if you have enough money, you can actually get your own custom plates. And people have very unique custom plates over here. So I've just gone to Bruce Lee's house, and the things that I want to do today, I want to get a new bag for my camera just so I can have an easy side bag when traveling. And then another thing I want to do is I want to see the Valley of the Stars, which is like a trippy, kind of like the Hollywood Boulevard's version, the Hong Kong version of Hollywood Boulevard, and it's got a statue of Bruce Lee. What else I can tick off the bucket list? There's lots of technology stores. There's lots to do. And we got a G-Wagon right there, which is awesome. Let's have a look at that. Let's zoom in. Not that Toyota Hiace, but that G-Wagon. Maybe let's get some close-ups of it. I've seen a few of them around. Surprisingly, there's actually a lot of luxury cars around here mixed with your ordinary cars. And then the taxis are actually really vintage Toyota Crowns, so they must have bought in heaps of taxis. It's not a nice background. So I'm here with the Bruce Lee statue in Hong Kong. This is a pretty amazing place to be. One of the places that Bruce Lee called home. And I'd like to say that he's a major inspiration to me, not only in the way I dress and the shoes, but also, I guess, for his way of representing Asians or people of Asian culture. And he did that through his skill of martial arts, Bollywood. But one aspect of it is that he had this very strong masculine stance, but almost in a very oriental way. And not a lot of people appreciate that about him. For example, in my personal opinion, growing up, Asians, and especially young Asian men, are very feminized in a way, just the way even Foundation and the way that Japanese media and all of the adverts portray Asians. They can either go two ways, either nerdy or really feminine. And some of the things I realized growing up in a Western culture is that people weren't as appreciated or as open to that whole idea of kind of respect for Asian culture. And it's something that I try to do in my own life, but this is something that I'd like to share. I've got people walking around in the background as well, but thanks for watching. So I've just moved his statue all the way there. You can see it in the background, but I'm in the foreground. So today has been pretty fun. I've never been to Hong Kong before, and something that I'd like to say is that it's awesome. I don't think there's any other Asian country I've been to which is kind of a merge of British influence. Actually, it reminds me so much of Singapore, but it's got its own little quirks to it actually. So for example, there's neon signs, there's heaps of capitalist culture, you could say. So there's heaps of shops and everything around. And today what I'll be trying to do is I'm going to try to get my bag. And the bag that I've been trying to get is, it's called a Belroy pouch. It's like a sling type of bag. And with my travels in Hong Kong, but also to the US, which will probably be my next video, is I want to have something where I can bring my camera out and about, but still enjoy life and have a very practical time. I don't want my tech, my baggage to be weighing me down. So this is one of the things. And then the second that I get this bag, it's going to be an awesome bag. I'll see if I can show you a video of it. I'll basically put my camera in it, and then I'll be able to run around town with this bag. It's an awesomely designed bag. I don't know what attracted me to it so much, maybe because it's modern, minimalist, and it's really nice fabrics, design. It's a bit weird, if you ask me. It's awesome to have Bruce Lee in the background. Another thing about Hong Kong that I realised is that it's one of those countries which has a very weird kind of grey political area. And the reason for this is because in Britain, the British basically colonised or took part of ownership, to my understanding, of Hong Kong. So with Hong Kong, if you actually look at the currency, I'll see if I can pull it out. What you'll actually notice is that it's got a lion on it. And that is a symbol of Britain, but it's also a Chinese symbol of strength and prosperity. And then if you actually look at the currency, it actually says HSBC, which is Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. And something that I've realized, and I'm going to do a bit more research into this, so I'm not just talking out of my ass, but something that I've realized is that Hong Kong is a city with two different systems. So the Chinese system and then the British ruling system. And somewhere in history there was some pact or agreement for the two countries to kind of had a unilateral type of governing system. So for the most part, I do believe it is mostly Chinese owned. It's practically the same border, but as you know, the British, they like to conquer, they like to trade, and so at some point in time, they really occupied Hong Kong. This is just to my understanding. I don't want to be offending anyone or crossing any political lines, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a lot of Singapore vibes, very clean cities, a little bit of mess, there's heaps of high-rises. Like the people that live here are really doing something different because there's just so many buildings. Can't say enough good things about it. Bad things, not really my place to say, but I really like it here. Imagine working here one day. I asked the guy at the store, he was really friendly. Everyone here speaks English to some extent because they get taught it in primary school. And he told me to go to this restaurant, Hal Fook. We'll check it out. We were having this discussion about how Hong Kong is basically a better version of Japan. And I don't actually disagree with that sentiment because in a way everyone here speaks English. They want to speak to you. In Japan, I feel like it's a very different feeling. And they do have a lot of Japanese cars as well. So the Toyota Crowns, and then they've also got the new generation because obviously these cars have been discontinued. I think the Toyota Crowns have been discontinued since 2020, no, 1980, 2000 maybe. So they've been discontinued for 20 years. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pretty nuts that they still use them. So that's going to be one of the heaviest meals I've ever had. Rice, egg, char siu, looks like soy, maybe a bit of onion. So look, there's the new Mercedes electric vehicle here as well, which is pretty cool. EQS. That's pretty nuts. But yeah, that was the heaviest meal I've ever had, and everyone in there was looking at me like, what the hell? But I basically just was recommended to go here by the guy at the previous store, and he said all the young people speak English, and all their like restaurants and waiters are all young people wearing streetwear, and some of them were taught English in school, so they understand me. Another fine example of Hong Kong royalty. Purple Rolls Royce, beautiful. Another thing I'd like to mention is that whole meal was 70 Hong Kong dollars, which is like 10 Hong Kong dollars for the iced tea. I had 2 of them, and then the meal, which was 59. That's like less than 10 Aussie dollars. That's crazy. I'm gonna go back to the airport just because I'm a little scared about time. I've never done this before, so we'll see what we can do. I'll be showing you this. Nothing more, nothing less. Effectively, I've been traveling for maybe the past 10, 15, if not more hours. I'm just all sweaty from today. Hong Kong is just really humid. So, just got a bunch of things to do to get set up, and then I'll be clean and ready for my 15-hour flight to the US. And 15 hours, it's a really long time. Alright, hopefully we go alright.